Take a peek into the Pacific Northwest woods, and you'll discover the most magical place. Trees blanket the Oregon mountains and countryside. It is a place so green, even the gray, rainy skies cannot distract from the rich color. It is in these forests you'll find the timber families, managing these sacred grounds. Logging is an amazing part of the circle of life on forest land. When loggers harvest a large group of trees, it is called clear-cutting. What happens to the acres of land clear-cut? Trees are replanted, new growth on old soil, regenerating native trees. This is called reforestation. Today, many of the mature forests around the state are a result of clear-cutting and reforestation. From the baby trees just taking root to the Valley of the Giants, the circle of life continues. I come from a timber family. I was born and raised in a small town in Oregon. One-way streets with back-to-back log trucks and the smell of sap and sawdust were staples in my childhood. In the early 90s, the timber industry changed a lot. During this time, families like mine lost jobs with logging companies and in mills. It was a really hard time. I remember my grandpa telling a story about meeting with politicians in DC that said loggers had cut down the last tree in Oregon. He asked the man in the suit to come visit the Cascades and see just what the forest really looked like. I can picture my grandpa's rough hands, the one holding a beer, of course, and I can hear his gruff voice, really solemn and sincere in his invitation. You see, loggers like him, like my dad, they're really tree-hugging hippies with giant hearts and gentle spirits. Humble, hard-working men that love the land they work on, the land that they work for. They respect the forest, and the communities they work in respected them in return. Loggers were once revered and held in as high regard as doctors and lawyers, an essential part of the circle of life. In August 2020, lightning sparked the Lion's Head Canyon reservation land outside Warm Springs, Oregon. An incredibly powerful, historic windstorm the first week of September rapidly spread fire west onto the Willamette, Deschutes, and Mount Hood National Forests. The little towns I grew up near of Detroit, Gates, and Mill City burned. The land was torched. Our trees blazed. The forest my grandpa logged decades before, the forest where I spent most of my summers camping, devastated. Whole towns gone up the canyon. The aftermath it is unimaginable. After these fires, and because of my timber family, I felt burdened to share a story with the world. My name is Kelly, and I'm part of the Collins writing team along with my husband, John. We invite you into the world of timber families as you read this little book with a big message. Forest management is so important. Loggers are an essential part of that process. I pray this book inspires you to look up from the beautifully painted pages and gaze upon the real, live, mighty trees of the Pacific Northwest. When you do, give thanks to the Forest Fathers for their role in growth, maintenance, and support of timberlands. Forest Fathers is the newest book by the Collins and is now available for purchase on Amazon.